So experiment number 3. This is the synthesis of benzotriazole from O-phenylene diamine. And the aim of the experiment to synthesize benzotriazole from O-phenylene diamine, ortho-phenylene diamine. It is also called as ortho-phenylene diamine. Okay, and the chemicals that are required here are O-phenylene diamine, glacial acetic acid, and sodium nitrite. Okay, so sodium nitrite, sodium nitrate is also present, but you must be careful that it is sodium nitrite. And then glassware, beakers, funnel, glass rod, measuring cylinder, filter paper, etc. Then coming to the principle involved in the synthesis of benzotriazole. So benzotriazole can be prepared by treating O-phenylene diamine with nitrous acid. So this nitrous acid is obtained from the uh, so that is the sodium nitrite, which on reacting with the glacial acetic acid or in presence of acid, it liberates the nitrous acid and which will react with the phenylene diamine to form the monodiazonium salt that follows spontaneous intramolecular cyclization reaction to form the benzotriazole. So mostly in what is diazonium salt? Okay, so diazonium salts are nothing but the aromatic amines. So carefully follow this. Aromatic amines when reacts with the there is HNO2 in presence of an acid. Okay, then they give the H plus ions, so they give diazonium chloride. Okay, so this is N double bond N plus and Cl minus. So this is called as the diazonium chloride, okay, or diazonium salt. This is also called as diazonium salt. So the main criteria for formation of this diazonium salt is it must be amine. This is an amine, and that too it must be a aromatic amine. So aromatic amine in most of the cases it is aromatic amine, but no reaction occurs with aliphatic amines. So it must be a aromatic amine to form the diazonium chloride. Okay. So once this, we will see the reaction in the principle part. So this is the principle. Coming to the reactions. So it's a simple reaction, that is O-phenylene. This is the structure of O-phenylene diamine. Okay, so diamine. So two amines are present. Where are they present? On benzene ring. There is phenyl, phenylene, and ortho to each other. This is ortho to this one, and this is ortho to this one. So they are ortho to each other. So O-phenylene diamine, two amines are present. And then this is sodium nitrate, which gives the nitrous acid, and cyclization to give you benzotriazole. Benzo, this is benzo. Tri means 3, azole. Okay, so 5-membered ring. So benzotriazole. The formed compound is benzotriazole. Okay, coming to the reaction, the mechanism. So O-phenylene diamine. So nitrous acid is formed. Okay, so this nitrous acid reacts with the amine part of it. Okay, so because it is having lone pair of electrons here, and this nitrogen, because it is there is oxygen is present next to it, it withdraws electrons and it becomes a partial positive charge here. So this attacks this particular part, and this is the intermediate that is formed here. Okay, and this intermediate will undergo cyclization to give you the benzotriazole. So this is the cyclization structure, and on removal of the one molecule of water from here, okay, that is minus H2O from this intermediate, you get benzotriazole. Okay, so this is the structure of benzotriazole. Then coming to the procedure. So this is the procedure. So here in any diazonium reactions. Okay? We have to maintain 0 to 5 degrees centigrade because at this temperature only the diazonium chloride is formed. Okay, and once the diazonium chloride or diazonium salt is formed, then it can react with very many substances uh, like the phenols, then hydroxyl containing aromatic ring systems, then naphthalene, uh, 2-naphthol. So it can react with many substances to form the uh, diazonium compounds. Okay. So coming to the procedure, so in a 1 liter beaker, we have to place 108 grams, or it may be something like you can reduce the quantities to 10.8 grams or even to 1.08 grams. Okay, so if you want to come down to that level, so if it is 108 is 1 mole, then 10.8 is 0.1 mole, then sorry 0.1 mole, and if it is 1.08, then it becomes 0.01 mole. So this is how we calculate. Okay, and then the orthophenylene diamine. So we are taking here 120 grams of orthophenylene diamine, which is 2 moles. So if it is 12.0 grams, then it is 0.2 moles, and if it is 1.2 grams, then it is a 0.02 moles. And uh, this orphanylene diamine is placed in the uh, 1 liter beaker, and 30 ml of that is glacial acetic acid and 30 ml of 300 ml of water is taken. By warming the mixture, then so here 120 grams of the glacial acetic acid is taken, and by warming the mixture slightly, a clear solution is formed. That means for dissolving it. Why do we heat it preliminarily means? So when as we know that the increase in the temperature will increase the uh, solubility of a solid substance. So the beaker is placed in ice water and the contents are cooled to 5 degrees, 0 to 5 degrees. But it's better to maintain less than 5 degrees temperature. So as soon as this temperature is reached a cold solution of 75 grams of 1.09 moles, that is 75 grams of sodium nitrite in 120 ml. That is, we have to take beaker, and to that you have to add 120 ml of water, and to that you have to add the 75 grams of, or say it is 7.5 or 0.75 grams of sodium nitrate. Okay, sodium nitrite uh, is taken, NaNO2. Okay, is added into 120 ml, and you have to make this also to cool to 0 to 5 degrees. So in another beaker, we have in the first beaker one, we have what all we have taken. We have taken glacial acetic acid, and we have also taken the orthophenylene diamine. So into which we added also water. Okay, 1, 2, and 3. Water also we added. Now we have to cool both the solutions to, that is beaker 1 and this is beaker 2. We have to cool them to the what you call them as 0 to 5 degrees centigrade. So once the cooling is completed, then the reaction mixture we have to add slowly the sodium nitrate solution to the phenylene diamine. So this solution you have to add slowly until so that there is no rise in temperature. So temperature and slowly and stirring. Okay, and not too vigorous stirring also, and not too slow. So we have to add drop wise, and then see that we have to maintain the temperature of this beaker 1 while we are adding the contents of beaker 1 to beaker 2. And you to maintain the temperature in beaker 1, we may add few pieces of ice to it, so that even after the addition of the sodium nitrate, any small change in temperature or any small rise in temperature can be prevented when few ice pieces are added. So then after addition, then the reaction mixture turns green and the temperature rises rapidly, about 70 to 80 degrees centigrade. So the color of the solution changes to clear orange red. So formation of this orange red color is the end point, or we can say that the diazonium salt has been formed. So the beaker now is removed from the cooling bath and the contents are allowed to stand for 1 hour. As the solution cools, the benzodiazepine separates as an oil. So the beaker is then packed in ice and the mixture is stirred until it sets to a solid mass. So initially we get a oily like substance, and which on further cooling will give us the solid mass, that is which is nothing but the benzotriazole. After keeping the solid content for about 3 hours under the cold temperatures, so the solid is collected on a Buckner funnel, washed with 200 ml of ice water and sucked as dry as possible under the rubber dam, or you can say vacuum. We have to use vacuum pump to remove the whatever water content is present. So the tan colored product after drying at 40 to 50 degrees overnight, so it weighs around 110 to 160, 116 grams. So if you have started with 108 grams of the substance. Okay. So the crude benzotriazole is placed in a 200 ml modified Claisen flask and distilled under reduced pressure. So the yield of white solid yellow castor of boiling at 201 to 204 degrees at 15 mm of Hg, or 156 to 159 at 2 mm of Hg, then the compound that is formed is 94 to 99 grams. So the product in the receiver is melted over a luminous flame and around poured into 250 ml of benzene. The clear solution is stirred until crystallization sets in. After being chilled for 2 hours, the product is filtered on a Buckner funnel. So the colorless benzotriazole weighs around 97 to 90 to 97 grams, which is the 75 to 81% is the yield, and the melting point of that particular compound is 96 to 97 degrees centigrade. So melting point of the benzotriazole is the 96 to 97 degrees centigrade, and the yield of the product is around 75 to 81%. Okay. So then coming to the some of the important things that we have to consider when you are doing these experiments. Okay. So note one is that too efficient cooling and stirring are to be avoided. It is essential that the temperature rise to 80 degrees after the completion of the addition. Too rapid cooling after this temperature has been reached results in lower yields. So too rapid cooling is also not necessary, which will lead to lowering of the contents of the beaker. Once the reaction is, once the two things are added to each other, then with runs 1/10 this size, it is advisable to remove the mixture from the cooling bath as soon as the sodium nitrate has been added, in order to ensure that there is rise in temperature. So once we have added the things from beaker 1 to beaker 2, okay, sorry, beaker 2 to beaker 1 contents. So you have to maintain 0 to 5 degrees centigrade until the complete addition of the contents of beaker 2 has been done. Once the complete addition is completed, then you will have to keep it at the room temperature, and then you will get the crystals. The crude product can be purified by repeated crystallizations from benzene or water. Okay, greater losses accompany this tedious method of purification than a single distillation. So here we have seen that one method of recrystallization or purification process is the distillation method, then other is recrystallizing from the water. Okay, here we have the recrystallization method for the using water. So dissolve the solid in about 130 ml of boiling water, add decolorizing charcoal. So charcoal is the agent which decolorizes if there is any coloring matter present, which is not the part of the product, then it gets absorbed onto the charcoal, and it becomes the colored part, which is an impurity, will be removed off. Then filter and allow the filtrate to cool to about 50 degrees centigrade before adding a few crystals of synthesized product. So this is called as the seeding. Okay, so if the crystallization has to begin, if it doesn't begin, then you can add 1-2 grains of this benzotriazole, and which will set in the recrystallization process, okay, which have been retained for seeding. That is, we call this process as seeding. Allow the mixture to obtain to room temperature slowly to avoid separation of the material as an oil. So separation, if it is too fast, then it again generates oil only. But if it is a gradual temperatures attaining to room temperatures, then it becomes a solid one. And then thoroughly chill in ice and collect the benzotriazole, which separates as pale straw colored needles at 99 to 100 degrees centigrade. A second crop may be obtained by the concentrating the filtrate. So the yield is about 67% if you do this process. That is instead of distillation, if you use water for recrystallization. Then the benzotriazole crystallizes much more readily from benzene. 55 ml of benzene you can have and then take, but benzene is not to be taken for the crystallization process. It's a harmful solvent. So, but the material is still slightly colored. A pure white product can be obtained by sublimation at 0.2 mm of HD. Okay. So then calculation, coming to the calculation part. So here limiting reagent is orthophenylene diamine. So because we have taken orthophenylene diamine, so sodium nitrite and as well as glacial acetic acid. So here glacial acetic acid is acting as an acid catalyst, and whereas the other reagent, other material reactant is the sodium nitrite. But amount of orthophenylene diamine is responsible for the final yield. So hence should be calculated from its amount. So one of the starting material that we take is that is one here is orthophenylene diamine. So this is the molecular formula, and then molecular formula of benzotriazole, that is the product. Okay. So orthophenylene diamine, NH2, and then this is NH2 orthophenylene diamine, reacts with HNO2, that is which is formed from sodium nitrite, to give you the benzotriazole. So this is the structure of benzotriazole. So NH is the one. So here, for this question, this is one, and this is make it double here, and then this is it. Okay, this is single bond. So this is the structure of the benzotriazole. So the molecular weight of the benzotriazole is so much. So molecular formula, it is molecular formula C6H5N3. This is it. And then molecular weight of orthophenylene diamine 108 grams per mole. So how do we get is there are carbons 6 into atomic weight of carbon 72. There are hydrogens 8, and then atomic weight is 1. So you have 8, and then nitrogen, which is the 14 into, sorry, 2 nitrogens into atomic weight 14. This is 28. So you have 8, 8, 16 plus 2, 17, 18, and then 7 plus 1, 8 plus 2, 108. So this is how we get the molecular weight of orthophenylene diamine. So similarly, for calculating the benzotriazole, okay, so benzotriazole C6, that is 6 into 12, which is 5 into 1, so 0, 5, and then you have N3, which is, that is 3 into 14, that is 14, is 42, so it comes to 9, and then 190. So this is how we calculate the molecular weight of the benzotriazole. So based on this, we can calculate. So how many moles of it gives how many moles of benzotriazole, or what amount of quantity that you have taken starting. That is 108 grams of benzotriazole will give us 119 grams of the benzotriazole. Okay. So 108 grams of orthophenylene diamine forms 119 grams of benzotriazole. Therefore, if you have taken 10.8 grams of orthophenylene diamine, then how much you should get? So this is called as the theoretical yield. So the theoretical yield of this compound can be calculated. That is benzotriazole. X is equal to this. So 108 is giving 119. But if you have taken 10.8, then how much you should get? So that is X is equal to the cross multiplication we have to do here. The 10.8 into 11, 119 by 108. So which comes around the, that is 11.9 grams is the theoretical yield. Okay. So 11.9 grams is the theoretical yield. Then practical yield is the one that which we get on the filter paper. So scrap out from it and then put it on a butter paper. Then on the take the empty weight of the empty paper of butter paper, then put the compound on the butter paper, and how much hour you get the reading on the balance, then you will be writing here. Okay. So that is called as the practical yield. And percentage yield of compound is equal to practical yield by theoretical yield into 100, which gives us the percentage yield. Okay. So this is the calculation part that we have. Then coming to the uses of the benzotriazole. So benzotriazole, it is used as antifungal, antihypertensive, analgesic compound, and mainly these antifungal, antihypertensive, and analgesic activities. Then this is taken from the Vogel's textbook of practical organic chemistry, and then practical organic chemistry by Hitesh G, and then Raval, Sunil B, and etc. and et al. So this is the that we have for synthesis of benzo